Okay, so the last thing we need to talk about with factoring is what we call factoring by grouping. So take a look at all the examples on your sheet. What is the difference between what we've been doing versus what we're about to do?
Bigger number.
Yes and no.
Oh, it's an extra thing.
There's an extra term. Okay, everything we've done so far had 3 terms: an x squared term, an x term, and a constant. Now we have 4. Okay, so whenever you see 4 terms, you factor by grouping. So the first thing we're going to do is write down your steps, and we've got 4 examples, and then I'm done for notes today. Okay, so your first step is to split into 2 binomials. Okay, so all that means we're going to do is we're going to collectively put them 2 terms inside of parentheses. Okay, so we're going to split this in half. Step 2, and why we talked about greatest common factor. We're going to factor the GCF of each binomial.
You said factor GCF and what?
Factor the GCF of each binomial. So you're going to take a look at each grouping that we have and take out what they have in common. Your third step, write the 2 new binomials. So as we do the example, you'll notice when we pull out the GCF, what's left is going to become 1 binomial, and the other part is going to be the GCFs that you pulled out. So your last line here is your GCFs form one of the new binomials. Okay. Your GCFs are going to form one of your new binomials.
So like the wind whenever you got windows down, that's on the highway there.
What, with the fans?
Yeah.
That's because my fans have 1 speed, this. Even though I have a dial, they don't even work unless they're this fast.
Feel like that.
This one makes me nervous though because it kind of shakes.
I was thinking, man, I was sitting right under.
You're not
I'm
under.
scared.
You're always like, I'm gonna get smacked in the face with a
Yeah,
fan.
you're going to get smacked pretty good, but
Listen, I've been here 3 years. It's been doing this for 3 years. I think we're pretty safe by now.
All
Getting
right.
older and older, getting looser and looser.
Okay. Are we good with all the steps?
No, I'm on the last.
Okay. Okay.
Crazy.
They don't think this is like Harry Potter where they can just.
I wish
sit
if we
there
had
I
and-
wish it was, man.
Like.
She tells you exactly what to write down.
I would like copy paste.
You good now, Joseph? I just want to make sure. I don't want to move on to examples until. Okay. So let me blow this up. Example number 1. Okay. So step 1 said split this into 2 binomials. So the way we do that is you're going to throw in 2 sets of parentheses. You're going to put a set around your first 2 terms and a set around your second 2 terms. Okay. Now you have 2 binomials. Okay. Take a look at your first set of binomials. What do they share in common?
X's.
X's, how many?
1.
2. We've got 3 and 2, so I can pull out 2. What about 8 and 4? What can I do with that? What can I pull out?
2.
A 4. You can pull out a 4. So we can pull out a 4, and you said 2 x's. So that's 4x squared. Okay. Now, you have to tell me what's left once I pull that out. So if we divide 8 by 4, what is left? What is it? 2. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So I have a 2 left. I started with 3 x's. We're taking away 2. So how many do we have left?
1.
1. Fantastic. Okay. Plus, there's your sign. Okay. Plus 1. Fantastic.
Close it.
4x squared divided by 4x squared is a 1. Close it. You did the first part. We got to do the same thing to the second set of parentheses. So we've got 10x and 5. What can I take out? A 5. So we're going to take out a 5.
Bro, I did not know that.
It really does with this font. Okay. When I divide out that 5 from 10x, what's left?
1.
What's 10 divided by 5, Stefan?
2.
Just the 2. We're not dealing with negatives. You won't see any minus signs right now, okay? So 10x divided by 5 is 2x. And then 5 divided by 5 is a 1. So, not quite. We got one more step and we're done. That's it. One more step. Take a look at this. Does this match this? It's supposed to. Okay, when you do this, what you have left in parentheses should match. So that's the first part of your answer. 2x plus 1. It's the binomial that they share in common. Your second binomial comes from what we pulled out. So 4x squared goes here. That was the first GCF pulled out. Plus 5 goes here. That's your second GCF you pulled out. That's your answer.
That's
They don't match.
You just factored by grouping. Questions?
What if they don't match?
What do you mean, what if they don't match? What if these don't match?
Yeah.
It's not factorable. It can't be factored, yep. Okay, go question. Example 2. Okay, so again, step 1, split this into 2s. Okay, we need to find out what we can pull out of 110 and 77.
You do 11?
11, fantastic. Okay, I always tell everybody, when you've got like double 7s or double 6s or double 5s, double anything,
I
start
thought
with
you were talking
11.
about 110.
Well, no,
Especially.
you got to do it with here too, but look what you have here, double 1s. So we've got double 1s and double 7s. As soon as you have doubles of anything, you should automatically be able to take out an 11.
Bars. Bars. Y'all didn't get that too. Bars. Yeah.
Okay, so we can pull out an 11. Okay, we've got x cubed and x squared. So how many x's can we pull out? 2 of them. Okay, let's divide now. What's 110 divided by 11? 10. I started with 3 x's. I'm taking out 2. So just 1 x plus 77 divided by 11.
Same.
7.
And I took both of my x squared, so I'm done with that one. Okay, take a look at your next set. We've got 60 and 42. But before we do that, Notice, when this first term is a negative, you're automatically going to pull out a negative. Okay. So automatically, if your first term is a negative, pull out a negative. So now, what can we divide out of 60 and 42? 6. Do they share any x's in common? No. So what's negative 60 divided by negative 6? Negative divided by negative makes it a positive. So positive 10. Don't forget your x. Negative 42 divided by negative 6. Positive 7. Again, these two match. So that's the first part of your answer. 10x plus 7. Your second part of your answer comes from your greatest common factors. So 11x squared is the first part. Minus 6. It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I told you I'd try to make factoring as easy as I could.
See, now I feel slow because like 8th grade, you know.
Sweetheart, trust me, sometimes it takes years. If you think I got factoring right off the bat when I took math class where you're sitting, no. It took me long years to figure out the easiest way to do it because there's several different ways you can do it too. Okay. Okay. Example 3. What can I pull out between 27 and 9? You can do a 3. Is there anything bigger?
9.
You can do a 9. 9. How many x's are we pulling out? 2. Okay. When I'm left, 27 divided by 9. 3x, because you had 3 and we took away 2, plus 9x squared divided by 9x squared? 1. Okay. I've got negative 24x minus 8. So automatically, again, pull out a negative. What can I pull out between 24 and 8? 8. Negative 24 divided by negative 8 is 3x. And negative 8 divided by negative 8 is 1. So what's my final answer look like then? What's my first binomial? 3x plus 1. And what does my second one look like then?
9x squared. 9x squared minus 8.
Fantastic. You guys are experts already. Genius, genius, genius.
Hey.
Example 4. Actually, I'm going to step back. Try this one on your own, and then we'll go over it.
Watch I kill this. I bet you I kill this.
Yes,
Okay, I'm gonna try.
So that was your brother that was there with you last night, right? I did not know that was your brother.
Yeah, you can tell. Everybody, I'm gonna say everybody said we look alike.
Y'all know.
You know what, though? It's been so long since I've seen him. He graduated, what, 3
2015.
years ago?
Yeah.
How old is she? 21?
Yeah.
He had Miss Miller. I used to go down a little bit.
What happened? Tell us 3 stories.
3
3
stories.
stories about his brother?
Yeah.
Good.
Give me 2.
I don't have 2 stories about his
Hey,
brother.
you got 1, so you got 2.
Oh, you got this, Stefan. Your steps are all there written for you.
4.
Take it one step at a time. Draw your parentheses, pull out your greatest common factor of each grouping. Come on, Moses.
6. Two, 4.
Fantastic. You can glue that in on page 49 if you would like.
But this young easy, bro.
I got 4 to 6.
Fantastic. When you're done, let me come look at it.
2 and 3.
Glue it in on page 49.
Here you go, Mr. Smith.
So 4, 3, or 2, 4, 2, 3.
Fantastic, my friend. Glue it in on page 49.
Yes, right. Yes, 2.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. No, I'm sorry.
That one kind of looked like a 1 at the bottom there.
Smith.
So we go ahead and glue it?
Yep,
Okay.
good.
Nah.
Fantastic. When I checked yours, it's gluing in on 49, my friend.
I want to write it down again.
Goes down 48.
Bro, you know that James
So
saw,
you're just
bro.
gonna wait?
James saw y'all 72 last night.
What?
Let her borrow your pencils.
James saw 72 last night.
Oh.
Yeah, James saw 72 last night.
Oh.
I'm a pig.
Is that it in a notebook?
What else?
And Marlon, which page was it down?
Huh?
Which page was it down?
49.
49.
Not 39, 49.
Huh?
He said 49.
49.
It's almost
Hey,
39.
so what's going on 49? Oh, the homework.
Oh,
hey.
Oh, that's-
Alright. That's easy. Got it
So
done.
we good?
Maybe a 5. Mark got 72 last night.
49, sir.
Mark got 72 last night.
Okay, when we did this first part, what did we factor out? What can we factor out of 8x cubed and 12x squared? 4. What else?
2?
X squared.
Oh, well, it's like more.
So, what did that leave me with?
2x.
2x plus 3. In the second grouping, what did you pull out?
5.
Plus 5. So that left me with
2x plus 3.
2x plus 3. So we finished out with
2x plus 3.
and
4x plus 5.
fantastic. If you do not glue this in yet, it goes in on page 49.
So we really have 69 days left.
Yes.
Bro, but guess what, bro?